I'll read you my post from this morning on Facebook and then I'll explain why I'm saying all this. Back in about 2015, when I realised how the world was really run, I felt sick to my stomach. My settled everyday life was turned upside down. My own thought process disturbed me. To think that our cushy way of life here in Britain was deliberately being undone made me feel helpless, sad and cornered. How long would it take? What would my old age look like after all the infrastructure and the British way of life was not only neglected but treated as a free-for-all for anyone who just turns up? Legal or illegal, they are gifted what we have put in place for ourselves, and I feel cheated. My first 20 years on the planet was with loving parents but frugal commodities, a cold house, not much money, and an inner feeling that there surely is something better than this. There was, and I did what it took to grab hold of it. I worked hard, I got on, and treated those around me well. So the next 30 years on the planet were spent building a life I wanted to live, rather than a mere existence I was stuck with. Life was good, I'd got where I wanted to be, only to witness various well-heeled, well-paid political figures create legislation to take things away from me. You too, actually, we're all in this together. The ridiculous bank bailing scheme from Cameron and the steady slide towards a communist-style regime. I decided to fight. I knew most people didn't quite get it because there was a time when I didn't either. I had no weapons as such. My ammo was my ability and patience to explain things for people. I asked questions, read documents, I got clued up and made some great contacts along the way. I have only one goal and it's never changed. Occasionally I jump off topic for humour and fun, or because I care about a particular instance, such as the unforgivable treatment of a man known as Tommy Robinson. But generally my fight stays the same, whether it's Brexit, lockdowns, forced mandates, it's actually communism. They dress it up with new titles like stakeholder capitalism, but it's all the same stuff. It's still a form of unhealthy tyranny, and a fun, loving nation like Britain can do without it and should not be driven into it. Big corporations need big government to survive. Who did Starmer meet during his first days in office? It wasn't farmers and workers. It was the cold, hard face of corporatism, Gates and Fink. It's a huge endeavour for all of us to push back this mighty well-funded beast called globalism. Push we must. I run my 2 Facebook pages. My YouTube has absolute minimum of 2 ads at the beginning, which you can skip. No ad breaks, no merchandise, no members club, no paid subscriptions. I've treated my blogging as tenacious as any work I've ever done. I'm just one person wading through the swamp like everyone else, with the time and the patience to simply give it my best shot. We aren't going to agree on everything. We will have our preferences. But after 10 years of daily effort, I can tell you with confidence that every time you have a snide, useless comment about someone on the same side of the fence, you weaken the whole perimeter. Remember what we're fighting here. We know the next 4 years will be a rough ride, and our job is to make sure it doesn't turn into 9 years. Like and share, discuss, tell friends politely to take more notice, get on MP's threads, tell them no, email them. Passive resistance done by millions is a powerful tool. It stopped the dementia tax, it stopped the cancellation of the winter fuel allowance for pensioners, and it can stop digital ID. If you feel isolated, join a group like Together Declaration and they'll keep you updated. And remember, the establishment parties that are decades old are all on the same globalist agenda. Even the Tories, no matter what they say. Now the reason I say all that is because David Lammy has hinted and intimated that he's going to do away with trial by jury unless it's rape, manslaughter or murder. Stats Jamie put a very interesting tweet up, which I have shared prolifically. He said that public order imprisonment is up by 65% under Labour. Public order imprisonment. That's Lucy Connolly type stuff. A Royal Marine was dragged to court over a social media post. The jury threw it out under an hour. Now, David Lammy wants to scrap the juries for most trials. If a jury weren't there, what do you think the verdict would have been for the Marine? This is a very sinister political move, because I do believe that the judiciary is politicised. They are appointed now, and it's not like it used to be. If you take away the trial by jury, you're taking away one of our rights that dates back to the Magna Carta. We've had the facility of similar trials for nearly 1,200 years. It's wrong on every level. Who do these people think they are? They're literally riding roughshod over the electorate. They don't care what we think, say, and they won't even care what we vote, because if it gets past the next election, we are doomed to communism. Why would they want to take away the right to trial by jury? Well, they're letting lots of people in illegally and legally. I don't think they've got any intention of stopping it. And contacts I've got in the Middle East who see how swiftly the Middle East is growing, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, how these places are opulent, infrastructure is superb, healthcare is first class, they have no crime, everything's done to a very high standard. 20 Michelin starred chefs live in Dubai. People are moving out there. Even some people that you favour, that you think are, for this country, live in Dubai and Saudi. The worry here is that they get rid of the people that we're taking in. They get shut of them, and they're coming to us. The word on the street is that Gaza is going to be a massive seaport. Where do the people go? What's going to happen to them? What's their fate? So, if more and more people are going to come, and because of the way they're coming, which is illegally mainly, or a loophole in the visa system with no means of keeping track of them, then that's going to attract a lot of people with ill intent, isn't it? It's naturally going to attract that. So is David Lammy trying to get rid of the the trial by jury system, because they're expecting more trouble and they don't know what to do about it? So the easiest way to do it is to process things quicker, but also process people who are complaining about it. That's what you've got to look at. If you've no trial by jury, the Marine, what do you think would have happened to the Marine with his social media post? It makes you want to think what's going on here. Because I suspect if we're not careful, if we don't push back, if we don't encourage everyone to see that come the next election we have to get rid of the power base of these legacy parties like Tory, Lib Dems, Labour, the Greens now. We have to get a sensible party in that would never dream of taking away trial by jury. But the other thing I also think is, if you complain enough, if there's a public outcry, like with the winter fuel allowance and the dementia tax, they have to dump the policy. So there is already a pushback on this trial by jury thing. It's all over the media. Journalists are talking about it. We need to do the same. We need to get on the threads of those MPs, explaining, we don't care about them going to a paint factory and cutting a bloody ribbon. What we want to see is, what are you doing taking our basic human rights away? We can't vote for you. You must tell them you won't vote for them. Take away the power base, because a lot of them have small majorities. Threaten not to vote for them if they don't support you in common sense politics. Because if we don't do this, one day we'll all be Lucy Connolly.